Kamala Harris has officially selected Tim Walz as her 2024 running mate. The Minnesota governor previously served 6 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives and was elected governor in 2018. One of my next guests says Walz falls into the do no harm category, while the other says he was a terrible pick all around. For more, let's bring in Don Peebles, CEO and chairman of the Peebles Corp, along with Libby Cantrill, PIMCO's head of public policy. Don, I believe those not minced words were yours about this pick here. I don't know. Listen, you're a housing guy. Isn't he the most pro-housing guy on the planet?
Well, I think, look, the vice presidential choice is supposed to either be neutral or value add here. And I think that what they did here is made a decision based on kind of identity politics. They focus grouped and polled. And at the end of the day, the better choices would have been Wolf, of course. I think also Whitmer would have been a good choice, and Wes Moore. Any of those three. But all three of them didn't fit kind of the optics of what they wanted to pick. And so if we go into policy, vice presidents don't set policy, so it's irrelevant. The president of the United States sets policy.
I think it's this interesting fact here, and this is, I guess, Libby, your fact. The last governor to be on a winning ticket as vice president was Andrew Johnson in 1865. Is that true?
Apparently, yes. I mean, according to the internet. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, I mean, this is, and as I said, this. Now, clearly, I'm talking about of the candidates that she had sort of narrowed down the selection process to. Tim Walz was the most sort of do no harm candidate. Not many people know who he is. He is an athletic coach. He's a geography teacher. He was, he had a stint in the Army. He's a pretty likable guy. He was on the Hill. Both Democrats and some Republicans even liked him. He actually had quite a more centrist record on the Hill. Interestingly, then when he became governor, he definitely sort of pivoted more to the left. So folks who are sort of reading the tea leaves about his policies, certainly more sort of centrist again on the Hill, but as governor, particularly when they won both chambers of the state legislature, became kind of increasingly progressive.
But wasn't Pence a governor when he won with Trump? Was he governor at the time?
Yes, he was.
I thought
governor of Indiana.
Maybe this is like a Chat GPT stat. They don't have access to the recent year.
Probably, yes.
Right. They need to go further back in the archives. Don, what are the implications for the business community, if any?
Well, I think ultimately from the business community, you have a moderate, dressed up as a moderate, but he's a progressive. If you look at what he's done in Minnesota, many of those policies have been progressive. Again, the vice president does not set policy. Kamala Harris, if she's elected president, will set policy. And so the decision making from a business perspective is what her policies are and what Trump's policies are. And we've heard very little right now from Kamala Harris as to what her vision for America is in terms substantively for economic policy or foreign policy. And I think we're going to need to hear a lot more of that. And that's how the decision making process is going to go for that small group of Americans who have not made a decision yet. And that's a very, very small group of people. I think they were looking to try to move some swing states here and played it safe. Wolf would have been a much better choice.
Libby, what do we turn our attention to now in terms of this campaign? So we have their convention coming up, I guess, now that we have the vice president. That's the next big thing. The debate sounds like it's not going to happen?
We don't know. I think that's to be determined. We do know that a presidential debate is possible. President Trump has obviously suggested the September 4th debate on Fox News, whereas Vice President Harris has said that she was going to stick to the September 10th on ABC. So this could be a debate, a singular debate, a monologue, if you will. But I do think that, from a market's perspective, I would agree that, that Harris hasn't necessarily laid out exactly what her agenda will be. What we're guiding our clients, Kelly, is that for all intents and purposes, she almost has to run on a Biden agenda. Not only is she the vice president currently, but President Biden is still the president. So for her to distinguish herself really dramatically on any of these policies really just isn't practical. She's trying to distinguish herself maybe marginally on Israel in particular. But outside of that, we're really telling our clients to basically think that she will have, for all intents and purposes, purposes a Biden agenda. What we're also telling them, Kelly, is that everyone should just go to the beach and have a glass of rosé and enjoy their August, because polling right now, particularly through the convention, is just not going to be very reliable. There's definitely a Harris honeymoon. So I think we'll have a much better sort of state of the race, if you will, in September than we do now, where there is a bit of a sugar high. There's probably some partisan response bias in pollings and what have you. So, again, enjoy your August, pay attention, and when you come back after Labor Day in September.